Hi everyone, my name is Liz I Read and welcome to another video, and I am reviewing the book Truthwitch by Susan Dennard. So this is the first book in a YA fantasy series. I've read some of other Susan Dennard's books. I've read her Something Strange and Deadly series, and I knew I really liked this author, so I was really excited to pick up the series when I got the chance, and I finally have. So this is a fantasy, and we follow two main characters. They're best friends. The person on the cover is Safia. She's a truth witch, and her power is sought after. They're very, very rare in this fantasy world, and she's trying to keep her power hidden. And then her best friend, Isu, she is a thread witch. She can see the connections between people and their emotions and how they feel about each other and things like that. And they are thread sisters, meaning they are best friends and they're there for each other and they'll die for each other and they're going to be there for each other pretty much till the end of time. And so we follow them, and they are our main two characters. In this world, it's on the brink of war. It's the end of a 20-year peace treaty. There are negotiations in place to possibly carry on this treaty, but as the world is looking, it's looking like war is inevitable. And unfortunately, because Safia is a truth witch, she's swept up in the politics of the war, and she goes on a journey with her best friend. Sometimes they're together, sometimes they're separated. And it's definitely a wild ride. And that's the truth about this book. It's kind of non-stop. You start at the beginning with high action, it continues with high action, and it ends. And in some ways, you're unsure of where this story is going. I don't want to say the plot is everywhere, because it's not, but you're not even really sure what the plot is until maybe halfway to maybe even near the end of the book. But I absolutely loved it. I love being in this world. I love following these characters, and I think that's the difference. Is it's not a plot-driven story, it's more of a character-driven story, which I really enjoy in fantasy. Safia and Insu is not the only two characters that we follow. We have POVs from Prince Merrick, who is a sea captain, admiral of his nation, which is Nabrivna, I believe is how you pronounce it. And then we also have a POV from the Blood Witch, Aduan, I believe. Prince Eric, he is a Wind Witch, which was an interesting power to read about. And then the Blood Witch, his power is he can control people's bloods. His body just self-heals, and he can smell people's blood and track them down. This story was super interesting. I loved it. It's a new favorite, that is for sure. I do recommend it if you're looking for a YA fantasy. Like I said, there are multiple POVs, which I really enjoyed, but the main focus is these two female characters who are really strong and work well off each other. They're a really great team, and you can tell the connection and the years-long relationship that they both have with each other. They're so desperate to find just freedom for themselves, but unfortunately they find themselves swept up with the politics of everything. There is two romances, very slow burn. Loved both of them. I like one more over the other. They're both really, really good. So if you like a slow burn romance, it's definitely in here. There's a lot of journey stuff in here. There's a bit of a heist in here. There is sea voyage stuff. There's magic using. There's sword fighting. There's just endless stuff, which is always a lot of fun. I don't have much complaints, actually hardly any. My only main complaint is maybe the map in here. I wish the map was a little bit more detailed. I wasn't finding it so hard in this book, but in book 2, I was wishing there was more detail, because they were mentioning sections of the world that weren't actually in the map, which I found a little frustrating. The other thing I should probably talk about is the magic in here. I do really enjoy it. I like how it's open-ended yet still has some rules in here. So basically, obviously, it's witchery in here, and these witches have a specific witchery, whether it's a truth witch or a thread witch or wind witch. There's tide witches, there's like plant witches, and so I like the endless possibilities for this kind of magic. I feel like if the writer wants to create a new magic, she could. She left it wide open, but there's still rules, meaning that if you have witchery, you need a tattoo in order to inform others that you are a witch and what type of witch you are. And there's like different factions with each witchery, which I thought really interesting. Definitely enjoyed this. Clearly, I gave it a 5 stars. Are there problems in here? Probably, but I couldn't really pinpoint them because I was just enjoying myself so much. So obviously, since I loved it, I'm just continuing on the series. This is everything that I wanted from Throne of Glass, unfortunately, but I'm glad I found it here, and I'm gonna read everything Susan Dennard writes because I really think she is a talented writer. So that is it. That is my review for Truthwitch. If you've read this book, please comment down below. I'd love to know your thoughts on this book. If you liked it just as much as me, if you have faults with them, comment down below because I want to hear your opinion about that, because obviously I'm just living on a high right now and I can't see past that when it comes to this book. But I would love to know your thoughts and opinions on this series. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe if you have not done so. You can follow me on Instagram and Goodreads. And you know what? I want you to keep reading. Bye.